In this video, I'm not really setting out to give any solutions. I'm just wanting to help people think through their positions regarding gender and sexual minority people in church. So I'm going to present a scenario and give some things to think about. I think there are times when both church denominational leaders, church members, and members of the LGBT plus community who are going to churches kind of wish it would be possible for all the sexual and gender minority people just to kind of leave and maybe form their own denomination. I want you to kind of reflect on that for a little bit and see how it sounds like that might work. Well, the first thing to think about is, will this solve any problems? Because every day LGBTQ plus children are born. So there's always going to be LGBTQ plus people in churches. So it doesn't solve the problem. David Switzer wrote a book, Pastoral Care of Gays, Lesbians, and Their Families. This book's worth reading and thinking about. In the book, you're going to find this. They base their figures on this, an estimate of only 4% of the general population being gay or lesbian. They extrapolate from that somehow, I'm not quite sure how they come up with this, that they estimate 17% of people from age 20 to age 74 have gay or lesbian family members. Now let's move to a more recent source, because this one may help us think a little bit more. It's a 2020 survey from the Association of American Universities. They found that 17% of undergraduate and graduate students identified as LGBTQ or questioning. That's not a small percentage of a church's population, a church's membership. I remember being in a conference where an Anglican priest presented a study that had been done of parents of LGBTQ plus children. Turns out they experienced some of the same theological concerns and feelings as their children did. Now to where the rubber hits the road. If we have maybe 17% of the church's population who are LGBTQ plus people, if each one of those people who leaves takes a close friend or a family member with them, we may be looking at in the range of 30% or more of the church members leave. That would be devastating to any church denomination. I can't even begin to imagine what it would be like for a church congregation or church denomination to lose the energy, the dynamic talent, and the finances of possibly up to 30% of their members in a very short period of time. It's just mind-blowing. To some people, the theological discussion seems so easy. To them, it seems like the Bible is very, very clear. But I maintain it's not as clear and easy and simple as many people think. Virtually every medium and large-sized denomination in the world has LGBTQ plus support groups or activism groups who lobby on behalf of sexual and gender minority people in denominations. Those groups wouldn't exist if it was straightforward and easy to understand. It's complex. When marginalized people feel they've been listened to and heard, and their position has been understood by leaders in society or in church groups, that makes a big difference. They tend to be much happier with the situation. Sometimes we think doctrine can't change. It's actually not true. Doctrinal statements, like church constitutions, are living, breathing documents. They can be changed. that is possible. Even creedal churches have changed their positions regarding issues related to LGBTQ plus people. Doctrine really can change. You're probably wanting me to come to a conclusion. Well, there really isn't a conclusion. One thing I can say is we need to keep the doors open for communication. We need to listen to understand.